Hi Aquarius, this is your weekly reading. I just wanted to ask before I forget if you will like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you would like to leave a one-word question in the comments, I'd love to pull you a card. So let's get started with your reading. Spirit, what message do you have for Aquarius? Spirit, what message do you have for Aquarius? Spirit, what message do you have for Aquarius? See, Spirit, what message do you have for Aquarius? Sorry, I felt like it wanted me to shuffle it again. We have the Knight of Swords, we have the Three of Swords, and we have the Three of Wands. I also like this Lenormand deck. It is tiny but mighty. I feel like it has great messages. Spirit for Aquarius, what message do you have for Aquarius? The Rider, the Ring, and the Garden. And then at the bottom we have Crossroads. Sometimes that's, deciding which route to take, but let me see. And then I also like this deck. It's the inner deck. Sometimes I feel like these days life is so busy that we don't take the time to listen to our inner self. Spirit, what message do you have for Aquarius on their inner self? Spirit, what message do you have? Let love guide you. Choose yourself today and breathe in. Okay, so we have the Knight of Swords, decisive, focused, driven, defensive, events that move from great speed. Choose intellectual responses to challenges rather than emotional. Sudden or unexpected changes. Review your options carefully. You definitely can tell he's taken charge, he's taken action, which is all Aquarius. You guys are, even the unicorns guy, they're on a mission. And especially too, having the Rider with the Knight, it says focus driven. You guys are, you got your eyes on the prize. You are ready to accomplish a goal, events that move with great speed. So this is, in some of the other cards, the horse is down, which means it's kind of like slowly moving, but this is like by far taking action. So you guys are at like top speed right now, ready to conquer your goals. And with the Rider, you can definitely tell that these two is definitely Spirit trying to tell you you're on the right path, keep going. Let love guide you. Choose to see the good in the world today. For sure. I think sometimes, especially with today's society, we're so busy on the internet and we see a lot of bad things online, but sometimes all we got to do is step foot outside and realize there is still good in the world today. I mean, you open your doors and the sun is shining, and the breeze and the vitamin D, and even here she's like got a waterfall right behind her and the birds. I feel like Spirit's telling me the song, three little birds on my doorstep singing sweet songs. And he's saying everything's going to be all right. So I definitely feel like Spirit's trying to tell you to see good in the world and, take a step outside and breathe fresh air and, know that there is still good in this world. But we have here the Three of Swords, great sadness that will heal with time. Let go of the past, personal growth that comes from challenges, healing, misunderstandings, being there for those in need. I know this says a lot about, you and, sadness and healing and all this other stuff, but I feel like with Aquarius, you guys are always the one being there for those who need it. So I kind of feel like this is you sometimes having things on your plate because you guys are always concerned about other people, and you forget about your own needs and, taking on too many things. I mean, you can see like the rain in the background, and, he's taking her hand. He's trying to solve all the problems, which, sometimes, we're all, trying to solve our own problems and trying to do everybody else's too. And sometimes we got to remember that they need to conquer their own problems. But you have it paired here with the ring. And I also see him holding hands. Not sure if any of you guys are getting engaged or someone's proposing anytime soon. But it also could be committing in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, it's committing to something long term. I kind of feel like it's somewhat like the anchor. It's, committing to something for longevity. And it has the star here, which the star is a wish granted. So, and you see like the genie in a bottle. Sorry. The genie in the bottle is also like a wish granted. And it says, choose yourself today. Do not deny your importance. And I feel like, just like I was saying here, you're trying to help everybody else and be there for those in need. But sometimes you got to choose yourself. Do not deny your importance, because like they say in the airplane, you put the mask on yourself first before you do it to the other person. Same thing here. Don't deny your importance. Like, if you're not taking care of yourself, then you're drained and you're not at your best. And then, we all want to take care of our health and, so that we can be around a long time to continue to help more people, but we got to just be healthy and, sometimes be a little selfish and have a little self-care. So we're at our A game when we're trying to conquer all these things. But you also have the 3 of Wands. It says planning for the long term, abundance from past choices, pride in the success of your labors. Be patient as you decide what's next. Abundance, I feel like Aquarius, you guys are always, success of your labor. You guys are always working hard and striving for greatness. And you guys do always have the long-term goal in your view. You're like, hey, I don't care what it takes. I'm going to get there. And it says, like, be patient as you decide what's next. And I feel like paired here with the garden, when it's saying like be patient and decide what's next, I feel like it's telling us, I think just like this one, seeing good in the world and taking a time out, breathing in the fresh air, the garden, you see they're outdoors, maybe bringing out your inner child and have a good time, let your hair down a little bit and then tackle again. You'll be at your A game, if you take a little break and, just bring out your inner child for a little bit, kind of like you say, okay, Friday night, I'm going to go out, I'm going to have a good time with my friends or grab a drink or, go out to eat or, just have a little me time. And then the next day you're like, okay, I'm going to tackle back to my project, and you feel recharged. You slept in the next day. You got rest, you had fun, you checked off all the self-help boxes. And here it says breathe in, practice breathe work today. So again, take a breath, go outside, get a breath of fresh air, breathe in, breathe out. I feel like it's definitely tell you to take a break. You have a lot of cards in here that are like self-care, take a break, breathe in, bring out your inner child. But no matter what, you're still going to conquer your goal. You're going right at it and you're helping others along the way. And it definitely says you succeed in what it is you're trying to reach. And especially when this one came out on the crossroads, it's sometimes not knowing which route to take, but whichever one you choose, you're going to do great at. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I look forward to our next reading. Bye.